Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Not Timmy 66. My next attempt at trying to stream. Hope this video is finding everybody well. Or this live actually is finding everybody well. Hope everybody, if you decide to tune in and watch, can hear me okay. I'm going to go ahead and run through this real quick, and if I don't get a whole lot of people that are interested in this, then I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. But I want to go ahead and go through something I think is a little bit more interesting, at least it is to me, than the nuts and bolts of UFO. By that, what I mean is the nuts and bolts of how do I want to word this? Not so much what the UFOs themselves are made of, the hardware, things like that. To me, what's more interesting is the consciousness connection. And so, first of all, though, what I wanted to do is go ahead and start out by reading you guys a contact story from one of my subscribers who was kind enough to share this with us. So she shared it he or she shared it in the public comments, so I'm thinking it's going to be okay to share this story. And I think what I really want to do is this sets the stage really, really well for the discussion today. Hang on just a moment here, folks. Okay, so I'm trying to get I got a new phone. It's the S25 Mega Ultra, whatever the heck they call it. So trying to get used to it. I guess I should have been a little bit better prepared, but like I said, not really a professional. Hope everybody is doing well. But a couple of videos back, I'd asked if anybody wanted to go ahead and leave me any comments or any stories that they may have had about abduction, and kind of tying this whole psionic thing into the realm of what's going on, like people being able to actually summon UFOs and be able to just think it. And I've seen examples where people have said, if you can hear me, flash your lights, and the lights will flash in the sky and whatnot. So there seems to be some kind of a consciousness connection between human beings and NHI, and I find that absolutely fascinating. So this came from my psionics and NHI video that I did, and Mega Chelsea 25, this was about 4 weeks ago, I'm a little bit behind the times, guys, left me this comment. She said, "Timmy, I have a story to share that relates in some ways to the whole psionics idea. I'll keep it as short as possible. Around 2009, my then husband and I went on a holiday to the Isle of Tyre, which is the Inner Hebrides in Scotland. I'm not pronouncing that right. Anyway, it's Inner Islands, I guess, in Scotland. Tyre is an island off of the mainland of Scotland. It's beautiful. It has not many inhabitants and is a rural island with beautiful beaches. We were staying in a cottage there, which my husband's family owned. We got up one of the mornings to go to the beach, and I woke up feeling excited and alert. And I said to my husband, 'They're coming tonight.' See, how did she know to feel excited and alert? Did they send her a message? She said, 'They're coming tonight. The aliens are going to come tonight.' My husband just laughed it off, as I've always been obsessed with the subject of UFOs, and I was always a bit too out there for him. We went to the beach, and drove around the island, and I couldn't stop talking about it. I'm telling you, they're coming after dinner. My husband must have thought I was crazy, and looking back, my behavior that day was really strange. That night, I couldn't wait for dinner to be over and for the sun to go down, and I stood outside the cottage for 2 hours. My husband came out eventually and said scoffingly, "Well, did your aliens come then?" I felt disappointed and turned around to walk towards him and the cottage and said, "I was so sure they were going to come." All I can tell you is that at that moment every hair on my body suddenly stood on end, and my husband said, "What's that?" and pointed over my shoulder. I turned around to my original position, and there was a huge golden orb just sitting in the sky in front of us. It didn't make a sound. There were no wings, no helicopter blades, complete silence. My husband said it had just appeared in that spot. It didn't travel from any obvious direction. It stood there for a good few minutes, and I just knew there was an intelligence to it. I knew someone was inside it looking at us. And I suddenly felt a bit scared because I thought, what now? Very slowly the orb began to move to the left and eventually flew over a small loch which was across from the cottage and disappeared into the distance. Not a sound. I have no idea to this day how I knew they were coming, but I did. I know it sounds crazy, but I think I was told somehow that they were coming, perhaps in a dream the night before. So I know whoever they are, there is some kind of a connection, which can be activated at any time, it seems. So I found that very interesting. It seems to me, guys, honestly, like if we want to, and we really feel that we want to initiate contact with them, they kind of know. It's like they're connected to our consciousness and super hyper interested in human consciousness. So, you know me, guys, I decided, well, I would go ahead and look into this a little bit further. And who do I ask? Well, I asked ChatGPT this question. Let's see if I can go to it here. And it's got several different really good, interesting, I believe, answers. Let me see if I can switch my screen over for you guys and still continue to talk. Okay. So this is ChatGPT, and I said, what are the connections between human consciousness and non-human intelligence? Why would alien life forms care so much about the human mind and what it has to offer? So, and it gave me some really interesting, intriguing questions. So if you guys don't catch this live and you watch this later, feel free to chime in on which one you think it is. I'll tell you which ones I honestly believe are pretty darn interesting to me. So let me go back to that screen, and I hope everybody can still hear me. So this is what ChatGPT said. The connection between human consciousness and non-human intelligence, whether artificial, alien, or even interdimensional, raises deep questions about the nature of awareness, cognition, and the universe itself. Here are a few simple connections and reasons why advanced alien life might take an interest in the human mind. Number one, and I don't think these are in any particular order, but number one is consciousness as a universal constant. Some theories suggest that consciousness isn't just a biological function. Excuse me, let me start over. Some theories suggest that consciousness isn't just a biological phenomenon, but a fundamental aspect of reality, like space and time. If consciousness is something that exists beyond human beings, perhaps as a field or an emergent property or of complex systems, then an advanced non-human intelligence might study, manipulate, or even evolve consciousness in ways that we cannot yet grasp. So if it can, that just fascinates me right there, because if it's a total different biological entity, but yet it develops consciousness, how are we connected to that consciousness? See what I'm getting at? It's so mind-blowingly cool to me. So the first one is consciousness and the universal constant. Some theories suggest that consciousness isn't just biological phenomenon, but a fundamental aspect of reality, like space and time. If consciousness is something that exists beyond human beings, perhaps as a field or an emergent property of complex systems, then an advanced non-human intelligence might study, manipulate, or even evolve consciousness in ways that we cannot yet grasp. I key in on the word manipulate because I don't trust the NHI, not really. The second possibility is a rarity or uniqueness of human consciousness, which I believe may be very true. And maybe it's just because I'm human. I think we're special. So it says human self-awareness, abstract thinking, and creativity may be relatively rare in the cosmos. If intelligence emerges in different ways across the universe, human cognition, especially our ability to imagine, to dream, and create, could be of immense interest to extraterrestrial life. Aliens might not just be interested in what we know, but how we think. So the NHI has their own form of consciousness, but they're not sure how we ourselves actually think. Guys, that's fascinating to me. What do you guys think? It just blows my mind. There's a third possibility, which is information as a resource. So if an alien civilization operates at a post-biological level, perhaps as a machine intelligence or a hive mind, it may see consciousness as a form of valuable data. Studying human cognition could provide them with insights into different ways of thinking, different problem solving, or perceiving reality. They might even seek to merge or assimilate human consciousness for their own evolution. To me, guys, that one right there is key. Assimilate human consciousness for their own evolution. And if you look at some of these abduction cases with the taking of embryos and impregnation and alien implants and all those things, I think it's across the board. I think it might be both an alien biological program as well as an alien human consciousness program that they're exploring. Let me go back to this. Number 4, the role of human emotion and experience might be of interest. If alien intelligence lack something akin to emotion, creativity, or subjective experience, they may want to study us to understand or even replicate these traits. This idea is common in science fiction, where hyper-advanced AI-like aliens are fascinated by human love, human art, and human individuality. So do we corner the market on love and emotions? We might. We might be 10 times more valuable and advanced just in our human ability to love one another, to care for one another, to look out for one another. I don't know. Maybe that is rare. So fascinating. Then it gets a little more woo-woo if you didn't think this was woo-woo enough, with quantum or interdimensional aspects of consciousness. Some speculative physics and neuroscience theories suggest that consciousness may involve quantum mechanics or dimensions beyond our perception. If alien intelligence operates on these higher levels, they might interact with us in ways that influence our thoughts, our dreams, or altered states of consciousness. This could explain reports of telepathic alien contact or the abduction phenomenon. So, what's to stop them? Maybe they can't control it, but maybe they can communicate with us on that level. I really, really like the idea that they didn't develop communication the way we do with our vocal cords and things like that. Maybe their only form of communication is telepathic. That's how they communicate with one another or with other species, is through that aspect. Simulation, or the experiment hypothesis. If reality itself is a kind of simulation, human consciousness might be a crucial aspect of the construct. Aliens, perhaps the creators or overseers of the simulation, could be monitoring our mental and emotional responses as part of a grand experiment. So then I asked it, I don't know what all these numbers are down here. I asked it to give me a couple more examples just for argument and to talk about, to give you guys something to think about. And this one kind of blows my mind. This is called the noosphere and collective consciousness. The Russian philosopher Vladimir Verdansky and the French theologian Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, I'm probably massacring that name, proposed the idea of a noosphere, a planetary sphere of thought formed by collective human consciousness. If alien intelligence exists, it may perceive the noosphere as a kind of evolving intelligence field worth studying, or even influencing. Perhaps they interact with human consciousness to guide its evolution. And see, that's what a lot of people also suspect, is that they are somehow, in some way, shape, or form, trying to guide our evolution. But I don't think it's to guide our biological evolution. I feel it's more to guide our intellectual and our maturity of human consciousness and growth. The soul, if you will. Mind is a gateway to a higher dimension. Some esoteric and quantum theorists suggest that consciousness is not bound to the physical brain, but exists as a field that can transcend dimensions. If aliens operate in a higher dimensional space, they might use consciousness as a means of interaction or even travel between realities. This would explain experiences like telepathic communication, astral projection, or out-of-body experiences linked to alien encounters. So this one tweaked my interest as well. Humanity is an experiment in conscious... Let me try that again. Humanity as an experiment in consciousness evolution. What if Earth is a kind of laboratory for consciousness? Some theories suggest that extraterrestrials could be observing, guiding, or even genetically influencing human evolution to cultivate a particular form of self-awareness. This aligns with ancient astronaut theories that suggest aliens have played a role in shaping human civilization. See, I don't know if I much buy into aliens basically controlling every aspect of our evolution. I think maybe it's just the Star Trekkiness, the what do they call that? The prime directive, where you don't interfere. But I think they're gently moving us into a larger reality. I don't know about the fact that they were some big experiment that they started in a petri dish and dumped into our ocean. That could very well be, and a lot of people do subscribe to that theory. I, not as much. And then reality is a construct of the mind. Certain interpretations of quantum mechanics, such as the observer effect, suggest that reality itself is shaped by consciousness. If aliens understand this on a deeper level, they may be interested in human minds because we co-create reality itself. Perhaps they're trying to understand or control the way humans shape their perceived universe. And then this is the one that really sticks out to me, the psi abilities and conscious manipulation. Many alleged alien encounters involve telepathy. We've heard a lot of this, guys. We've heard a ton of this with the psionics, with the, what's his name, Jake Barber, that supposedly was part of the retrieval program that picked up the egg, if you guys believe that story. He said that it made a connection to him. So not only are we getting a lot more videos and openness about this retrieval program, but it's almost like they're leaving artifacts to connect with us. Kind of strange. So has evolved. Okay, so many alleged alien encounters involve telepathy, remote viewing, and other psychic phenomena. If non-human intelligence has evolved to communicate using consciousness rather than language, I just said that, they may see human telepathic potential as primitive but promising. Their interest in human consciousness could be an effort to awaken latent abilities or integrate us into a larger interstellar consciousness network. And it come up with a couple more. I know that this is probably going on long enough for most of you guys. If you want to know more in regards to this, let me know. But there's all different kinds of theories in regards to this connection between NHI and human consciousness. Hyperdimensional predators or parasites. A darker perspective suggests that some non-human intelligences may not have benevolent intentions. If consciousness is a valuable resource, then perhaps certain alien beings exist as predators or parasites that feed on human emotions. To remind you of David Icke talking about the one type of aliens, the reptilians, that feed off emotions like a food. Okay, so predators or parasites that feed on human emotions, thoughts, or energy. Some UFO researchers and esoteric traditionalists suggest that negative entities may manipulate human consciousness to generate fear, conflict, or suffering as a form of sustenance. All these theories are pretty wild. I don't know. Let me check the comments and see if anybody is even watching this. So what do you guys think? Dave Simmons says, "Hi dude, this is interesting. I think aliens are our leaders." Why do you think that, Dave? And I'm sorry, I just now checked the chat, so they may be our leaders. It's very possible. I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but the interesting thing more to me is not so much what the spaceships, how they fly and stuff like that. What's interesting to me is what is so valuable on planet Earth. And to me, it's the human mind, human consciousness. It just blows my mind when I think about it. Here's another good one. Consciousness as an intergalactic network. If consciousness is not confined to an individual being, but instead exists as an interconnected web spanning galaxies, then extraterrestrial beings may see human minds as part of this vast network. They may be attempting to integrate us into a larger universal intelligence, or they may already be influencing our thoughts on a mass scale. It's fascinating to me. Let me go back to the main screen here. What do you guys think? So whatever it is, it's here. In my opinion, it hasn't shown itself 100% yet, because I don't think that we're ready for all the answers. There's an old adage, I guess, about be careful what you wish for. You may just get it. And to me, the entire process of this disclosure goes a lot deeper than just the intergalactic federation of planets. And I'm not sure, honestly, if humanity is ready. I'm not even sure if I'm ready, to be honest with you, if this is true for the big picture, if that makes sense. Dave Simon says he thinks that there are leaders, and that could possibly be the truth. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I do appreciate everybody watching. Next time I'll try to drum up some more interesting facts and things to talk about, but I'd love a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me comments and let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. Do you think it's just way too woo-woo out there? Do you think it's, do you still believe that it's just the government throwing a bunch of drones up there, or do you think something's here? Here's honestly what I believe. I think something's been here for a long time, and it's now nudging us as gently as it can towards the bigger picture. Now, whether or not we're all ready to embrace that bigger picture remains to be seen. Gotta say, it's definitely something to think about. Leave a comment and let me know, guys. If you haven't subscribed to Not Timmy 66, feel free to. It doesn't cost anything, does help the channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here, and we will see you guys again.